All right, I'm here and Rich is here too. Sorry about that. I was in the
Crumpy.
wrong window. Okay, so a new executive order just dropped like a second ago. And we are going to read through it. Just give me a second here. I'm trying to find a copy of it because I have a non-official copy of it. But
Ooh, dang old Matt is throwing shade. He say with Pam Body in charge, this does not. Where did I lose it? Anyhow, he's casting doubt upon Pam Bondi.
yeah, well, we'll see what happens here. But let me
So,
see.
we got Fat Gray Man. We got Live Life, the Sentinel. Got a bunch of our regular peeps here. Agorizer, how's it going? How's it going? Dang old Matt. MC.
Yeah, let me just. I am going to just email this over to myself. That way, it does not. It's not going to. Let me just email. Sorry, guys.
We got
should have had this all
Josh.
prepared. But the thing is, I had I have an unofficial copy. I don't have the original, like the actual release copy, and I don't want to put out the unofficial copy.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to help anybody.
Don't want to burn anyone?
Exactly. So I just email it to my Gmail, so pull it up. So it's all sanitized.
We're not burning the source.
Yeah, exactly. And that didn't come out too well either, but whatever. See if I can do this over here. You know what? Screw it. Let's just do this. You guys can have my personal email address, and that is fine. Whatever. I don't care. So, Rich, you're going to do the reading.
Okie doke.
And You can even see it.
Yeah, you got to make that bigger.
Maybe I'll do the reading. Can you read it now?
Okay, yeah. Executive order protecting the Second Amendment rights by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. It is hereby ordered. Section 1. Purpose. The Second Amendment is an indispensable safeguard of our security and liberty. It has preserved the right of the American people to protect ourselves, our families, our freedom since the founding of our great nation. Because it is foundational to maintaining all other rights held by Americans, the right to keep and bear arms must not be infringed. Section 2. Plan of action. Within 30 days of the date of this order, the Attorney General shall examine all orders, regulations, guidance, plans, internal agreements, and other actions of the executive department and agencies to assess ongoing infringements of the Second Amendment rights of our citizens and present a proposed plan of action to the president through domestic policy advisor to protect the Second Amendment rights of all Americans. In developing such a plan of action, the Attorney General shall review, at a minimum, all presidential and agencies' actions from January 2021 through January 2025 that purport to promote safety but may have impinged on the Second Amendment rights of law abiding citizens. Rules promulgated by the Department of Justice, including the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives from January 2021 through January 2025 pertaining to firearms and or federal firearms licensees, agencies, plans, orders, and actions regarding so-called enhanced regulatory enforcement pertaining to firearms and or federal firearms licensees, reports, related documents issued by the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, the positions taken by the United States in any and all ongoing potential litigation that affects or could affect the ability of Americans to exercise their Second Amendment rights, agency classifications of firearms, ammunitions, and the possessing of applications to make, manufacture, transfer, export firearms, implementation upon submission of the proposed plan and action described in Section 2 of this order by the Attorney General shall work with domestic policy advisor to finalize the plan of action and establish a process for implementation. Section 4. General provisions. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect the authority granted by law to an executive department, agency, or the head thereof. The functions of the Director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, legislative proposals. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. This order is not intended and does not create any right or benefit substantive or procedural enforceable at law or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, agents, or any other person. Wow.
It's basically saying don't sue us if we violated your rights.
Oh.
Yep.
So
This
was
is
that it? That was the whole.
that was it. Basically, guys, 545 is back on the menu.
Where do I get my free suppressors and full autos?
No, what I think this is going to deal with a lot. I think it's going to deal with the rules on frames and receivers and braces.
Are we any closer to getting Matt Hoover out of jail?
Uh, maybe behind the scenes, but not front facing.
This has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna like go back and do frames and receivers. Hold on. Sorry. I think they're gonna go back and do frames and receivers and braces. They're gonna lighten up on the import bans, which is gonna be nice.
Yeah, get us some of that good foreign military surplus ammo, firearms, etc.
Yeah.
Make AK ammo affordable again.
Make AK ammo affordable again. Exactly. So we're gonna see a bunch of ammo coming back. That's one of the reasons why it was passed. Um, yeah. So that is so that's good. Russian ammo, exactly. That's one of the import bans that's gonna be. I know they're looking at stuff like the sporting purposes stuff and 922R and stuff like that. So I mean, those can all hit the bricks, which is nice. Yeah, with tariffs. Yeah. One of the things I do like is them going over um, the rules that were all passed, and also this will affect the zero tolerance policy, possibly.
That's pretty crazy.
So basically,
That
all the unconstitutional rules that the ATF has passed, it looks like they all might be going away.
yeah, yeah. Walt saying barrels in parts kits. Crazy stupid D mills.
Yeah. So this is not the end goal, but it is a step in the right direction.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I can't wait to see all the anti-gunners freaking cry about it.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing to me, like, you know, I look at various YouTubers and, you know, when they show all of the liberals losing their mind over the past week or 2 weeks or whatever it's been, this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, but not all. I mean, there's a bunch of they have a bunch of things. You got to remember, anything Biden does via executive order can be undone via executive order.
So in all right, so Walt and I are both Florida men, and we are familiar with Pam Bondi. She is was enforcing Florida red flag laws. Question is, does she still have the same sentiment?
I think she does.
But will she act on it?
Uh, I think she. I don't know. I heard that she's. You heard the same thing I heard from
Yeah, yeah,
someone.
I'm so here's where I am on these things. So Trump you know, his first term came out and supported red flag laws. Pam Bondi supported red flag laws. I'm hoping somebody like Donald Trump Jr. got to speak to our president and you know, put some, you know, influence
Well,
of the right kind on him that he
I
understands.
do. I do want to, and I want to make this very, very clear. This isn't an end, right?
So this is an executive order. This is instructions to the executive branch of the federal
Yeah, I mean,
government
this
on
is an
how to
executive
proceed. This
order
isn't a
to, hey,
law.
hey, let's see everything that you guys did. Now, what they can do is pass, like, look at it and start rolling back some. This is not rolling back any rules or anything else like that. This is not even
Correct.
asking. It's asking the ATF to look at what unconstitutional rules it passed and decide from there.
Yeah, so it's telling everybody. So I would think that if you're in the ATF and had a bit of a brain, you might not go crazy on prosecuting FFLs for not having a comma in the right place or a dot on the right I or whatever. That you might take a step back from that, realizing that, hey, you know what? They fired all the FBI agents that were involved with J6. If I start doing dumb stuff like this, might not be good for me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. So we'll see what happens.
FGM says it's a step in the right direction. I agree,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. You gotta remember. By the way, I just posted. I think I just posted. I'm experimenting with the goal stuff. Maybe I didn't post a goal. You start goal. I'm not typing it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna post a goal because that didn't work. If I get if I get damn it, what the hell am I talking about? I have no idea what I'm talking about. If I get 10 super chats, I'll do a live Q&A on Sunday.
10 super
I'm
chats of $1 a
yeah.
piece of anything, doesn't matter.
Well, it's set to 5, but $1 a piece, anything. I don't care. I'm just experimenting.
Oof. All right.
There's some
So there
stuff going on.
Colonel Angus is saying Hoover should have been pardoned on day 1. What gives?
It's a long process, and you have to lobby and lobby and lobby and lobby and talk to people and talk to other people.
Yeah. So next week we're gonna have a woman that was involved in the J6 pardon process on the show.
Yeah,
So
it's not a easy process, especially if you're not like high profile, right? So yeah, so we're working on it. Not it's just not quick, I would say.
yeah, we're crossing our fingers. Hey, look, Trump getting elected is a big step in the right direction.
I mean, that gives at least a chance.
And hopefully, I don't want to talk too much about stuff, but believe me,
I
we're
would
all
I would keep it as minimum as possible, Rich.
we're we're there's stuff going on.
Yeah, just keep it as minimum as possible. There's at least a chance it's not going to be fast. No one ever thought it was going to be fast, but we are working on it behind the scenes. So yeah, so that is something that we can talk about, like that we are. There is stuff being worked on.
So good stuff going on. Summary: Trump just dropped an executive order that said, "Hey, we need to look at every dumb thing Biden administration did over the last 4 years and undo it if it has to do with guns and infringing on your rights as a firearm owner or FFL." So that's the abbreviated synopsis of what's going on.
Yeah, we know the targets. We know the pistol brace rule, the frame rule, um, the the zero tolerance policy is also wrapped up in there. There's also what else is there? Zero tolerance policy. There's a bunch of the engaged in the business rule is also there. So there's a lot of stuff they can dismantle. But like when they put all this stuff into place, it took them several months, like almost a year. So that is one of the things that we can talk about is like when they passed all these the bump stock rule is dead at the Supreme Court, so the rule is like it's never existed. It was ruled unconstitutional, so the bump stock rule is gone. So I don't think they're gonna actually review that one anyway. Plus, that was in the previous time frame. So, who Sentinel wants to know outside Dettelbach, who else got the axe inside the ETF? No one right now. It had been there, $20. So I guess we're with that. I'll count that. All right, we do a Q&A on Sunday.
Well, okay then.
There you go. Thank you, Ed, so much for that. That really means a lot. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the ATF comes back with. They have their deadline; they'll come back to it, and then when they give to Trump, it probably won't be right away. It'll probably be a few more months before stuff starts getting rolled back. But this is the first step. And no, Andrew, no one here trusts Pam Bondi. That's gonna be awesome. But yeah, just wanted to make everyone aware of this. Release the files on the Las Vegas shooting. Um,
Ooh.
I'll talk to you about that later. Walter.
Oh, I want to be on that phone call.
I think I told you like a long time ago.
Yeah, like everything important you told me to keep secret. I probably forgot about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's there's from what I have seen, there's no smoking gun there. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna say what I saw or anything, but there's literally no smoking gun there. But who knows? Maybe something was done before it got to that level. But we'll have to see. So yeah, it looks like we might be in for good times. Good times, especially if it is if they like the import bans. That's something that I am excited about. They need to get rid of 922R.
Hmm.
They'll have to have so many American parts on it. Blah blah blah.
Well,
Crap.
922 are stupid, and it's the most misunderstood regulation out there.
Also that, and also they got to get rid of the whole sporting purposes thing.
Yeah, sporting purposes, stupid.
That's really stupid. The Second Amendment is not about sporting purposes.
No,
So why, in God's name, limit the import of stuff to sporting purposes?
because somebody wanted to regulate it. That's why.
Exactly.
One
Yeah, one
part
talking fast
passes.
is right. Nobody has been busted for violating 922R. You're right. Not a single person or company has been targeted for violating
Yeah,
922R, but that doesn't mean that they can't do it. And it doesn't mean that companies still obey the 922R stuff.
yeah. Anybody. So 922R isn't for an individual compliance. Like if you buy a firearm from Classic Firearms, or just for example, doesn't mean I have to make it 922R compliant. They would have had to have done that before it came in the after it came in the country.
Yeah, so basically, but companies don't don't do that. Um,
And
I
to
mean,
my
company
knowledge, nobody, no
no,
individual.
there hasn't been anything. Do I think any anti-red flag legislation can make it through Congress? No, I do not. There's no way. There's no way that will get through the Senate, and I doubt it. Like, there's enough Republicans that support red flags. Dan
Ouch.
Crenshaw, that there's no way. As a writer, it was always a good idea. Okay, we have something about Tate. Tate was targeted for a couple different things. It wasn't import stuff. Tate was targeted because he facilitated a sale of a demilled firearm that he got off Gunbroker and sold it to a confidential informant, even though the confidential informant is the one that wanted the one on Gunbroker. So he facilitated the sale, which I don't think violated any law because it was demilled. The guy on Gunbroker has never been charged with that. They never even said the guy
Right.
on
Which
Gunbroker's
is kind of
name.
crazy.
Uh-huh. And he still sells on Gunbroker, so there's that. Also, they said that his demailed RPG was not demilled enough. The hole wasn't big enough, even though it had a big ass hole in the side of it, and there was no trigger group. The ATF actually had to build the RPG, weld the hole shut, put in a trigger group to get it to work. So basically, they had to remill it. And I live life says entrapment. I 100% agree that I think it's entrapment. Any other theory? I've been trying to figure that out, and uh, they talk about any other theories why they went after Tate, not the other guy. I've been trying to figure that out. I think it is incredibly suspicious that they knew exactly what gun broker listing to say, "Hey, can you go get this one?" So I believe it's that's really, really incredibly suspicious to me. More Beta Prince, welcome channel member. Yeah. Tate did not talk shit about the ATF or anything. He was actually a master of arms, which is basically a Navy cop. So he didn't talk shit about the ATF or anything. He didn't have a public profile. Levi, I think that is more than a theory. I think that is a law. So yeah, rescind the NFA, GCA, and abolish the ATF. Right. The first thing we do before we abolish the ATF is defang the ATF. I think we had this talk before. You got to remove their power, and then you abolish them. It depends on how long you're going to wait. If you want to wait more than it's probably going to be like a year before anything gets done. So it depends. If you want to get a nice AK and you want to wait, you might want to wait. If you want to wait a year. And yep. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna get out of here, man. And yep, yeah. Somebody says the range says Hoover poked the bear so much it was kind of predictable. They destroyed the guy and didn't let logic interfere with the case. One of the dirtiest cases I've ever did see. Yeah, when you poke the bear, you have two choices.
Sport.
Yeah, you have two choices when you poke the bear. You have to have some type of protection. You know, like I poke the bear a lot, but I have really good attorneys. And they know my attorneys, and the ATF is afraid of my attorneys. So that helps out a lot. But hopefully Matt will be out soon, and I cannot wait. What is her name? Laura Coffer Taylor? Yeah, she learned not to F around. Yep. All right, guys. I do have a video that I am cutting right now, and I want to get everyone's opinion before I get out of here. The video is on a Utah law, and it's going to be coming out tonight. And it's a proposed Utah law that I believe is gun control, and it's a Republican introduced bill. The Republicans support it. The Democrats support it. And what it is, it says that it says that migrants cannot have firearms. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants or illegal aliens. I'm talking about like legally people who are under asylum and protected status. And I'm not talking about like the people who snuck over and applied for asylum. This bill goes in Utah. Those people can't have guns already. This bill is targeting those that went to the embassies, filled out the paperwork, or waited for their approval for asylum, then came over. And I think that is so unconstitutional. Well, not constitutional. It's so against the natural right to bear arms. It doesn't apply to green cards. It applies to people that have protected class and people that have asylum. And I think that is so unfair. So we'll see what happens in that, but I do believe that's gun control. They're saying, oh, and the reason why they're giving it is because they say, this Venezuelan gang problem. So I did some research, and it's almost non-existent in Utah.
Get rid of the criminal illegal aliens, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, the people that are a member of that gang are not just like real asylum seekers who went through an embassy, applied for asylum, and got their asylum papers before they entered the country. Those are people who snuck over the border. And plus, Utah really doesn't have a problem with the Venezuelan gangs.
All right, somebody just said Four Boxes Diner just did a video about Bondi's ATF policy.
Yeah. I would go watch Mark's video after that. Mark is a good guy. And with that, we are going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Um,
Yay.
I'm glad I could bring you some good news after the bad news from yesterday. And yeah, that is it. And I'll talk to you later.